Former President Trump's comments and focus on our state ever since 2020. Joe Henke joins us now. And Joe, you confirm Georgia election officials, they've been subpoenaed by this committee?
That's right, Sheba. A source with the Georgia Secretary of State's office confirms with me both Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his Chief Operating Officer Gabriel Sterling are set to testify before the committee. A legal expert tells me in the hearings we should expect to hear not only about the events of January 6th, but the days and weeks leading up to it.
It has to stop.
That is Gabriel Sterling of the Georgia Secretary of State's office nearly a month after the November 2020 election, when members of the Secretary of State's office and some county election workers in Georgia were receiving death threats after Georgia voted to elect now President Joe Biden. Sterling asked President Trump to tell his supporters to back off. With Sterling and his boss, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, now expected to testify before the January 6th committee, Georgia State law professor Clark Cunningham says we could hear new details about those threats and the sources behind them.
There's no evidence that then President Trump did anything to discourage his followers from this action. So I think we may hear testimony about those death threats in pretty compelling and horrifying detail.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
Then there is also the now famous phone call from then President Donald Trump to Raffensperger days before January 6th, asking him to find enough votes to tip the election in his favor. Cunningham says Trump's stop in Georgia on the eve of the U.S. Senate runoffs in Georgia could also be highlighted during the hearings.
And they're not taking this White House. We're going to fight like hell, I'll tell you right now.
He went out of his way to indicate that he was expecting Pence to act in a way that would allow him to continue to be president.
And this week, a judge ordered Trump attorney John Eastman to turn over a batch of 159 documents to the January 6th committee.
A number of those documents involve communications to and from members of the Georgia General Assembly, including some Georgia legislators were apparently asking Trump's lawyer to also be their lawyer. And I think all of us in Georgia are going to be interested to know more about that.
While the televised hearings start tonight, I'm told Raffensperger and Sterling were subpoenaed to testify the week of June 20th, so not tonight. They are the only members, though I'm told, of the Secretary of State's office that have been ordered to appear before the committee. Sheba.